Hey everybody, it's Casey again from Casey Creates, and my battery's running low, but I wanted to come on and show you some of what I've been crafting lately. I really love, if you watch my videos that I have up so far, you'll see that I love vintage, shabby chic, kind of Victorian style fabrics and designs, and so I like to make these handmade brooches, and so I'm just going to show you some of the ones I've recently created. I've got my cup of coffee here and my homemade coffee cup because I'm also a potter. You can learn that about me too on my video. So this is one of the ones I made. I call this one Ice Princess because it's got these really icy blue colors. I glued a brooch, a little piece that could have been an individual brooch, but I just added it to this. And then there's one that I made that could either be attached to a hat or a headband. And first I had this little silky flower, and then used some appliques that I cut off of some lace. Let me see if I have one. Yeah, this was on a pillow cover, so I just cut these apart and glued on some little single crocheted flowers. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this one yet. I'm just making them for now, just for the fun of it. This is another one where it's kind of snowflake-like, and I love it. And I just put a little pearl bead in the middle. Here's another one that I sewed. It was a long strip, and I sewed it kind of in an accordion pattern and then turned it into a flower and glued a little applique in the middle. I took some trim from one of my upcycled tops, which is the purple and pink little flower buds, glued them around in a circle and put what I would consider a vintage type button in the middle. And this one is one of my favorites because I love cameos and I also love green. So I took a cameo and glued it in the middle, put a bow on top and covered it with pearl edging little beads, and then I glued a pin on the back so it can be worn. It actually would match what I have on right now. And the last one is a heart-shaped one, and I didn't have any pink enamel or acrylic paint like I normally have several colors, but I did have some nail polish. So I just took some nail polish and painted. Let me see if I have. So it was originally this little piece of crafting wood, and I trimmed it down some and covered it with pink paint. And then I covered it again with some lace. I'm seeing if I have a scrap of it here to show you. Yeah, I do. So then I just covered it with some lace and then added the beaded trim around the edges and decorated with appliques. I had a little crocheted daisy flower, and then I put the little metal one with the rhinestone in the middle. I glued a bow and then another rhinestone top, another rhinestone on the bottom. And these are just fun little things you could use for pens. And then my favorite one was with paper flowers. Now back, I don't know if it's been maybe 10-15 years ago now, our church had a ladies event where they wanted us to make party favors. And why? I don't know, but I volunteered to make a whole bunch of these and ended up getting a friend of mine to help me, and we did like 200 of these little brooches because it was a Victorian tea party theme. And then we just glued them onto these little wooden ovals. This one's bigger than the ones we did. And then put pen backs. And I still have ladies telling me that they still have theirs and they still wear them once in a while. So I'm really happy to know that they hold up. Let me put it a little closer. Can you see that? Anyway, this is my favorite one. So I'll be making some more of those. These are the paper flowers. You can find these at any craft store. I got some from Hobby Lobby. I've gotten them from Michael's. So they come in all different sizes. I recently just found these with the gold in the clearance at Michael's. So before I go, I thought maybe I would make one for you while you watch. And if you want to stick around and see me create one, I'm going to do it really quick. So I took a wood piece, but this one I mounted some white cardboard on top, and then I'm going to take glue and glue fabric over the top of it. So it's a pretty quick process. So if you can see, I just put some tacky glue on there. I'm going to rub it all around and a little bit on the edges, not a lot. And then from one of my upcycled tops, I have a bunch of scrap, but I love this rose pattern lace. So I'm going to lay that on top, stretch it just a little bit. So can you see that? And I'm going to take my scissors and trim off the excess. And it's okay if there's a little bit hanging over, because you can just stretch it right over the edges and glue it down. But I really want to show you how I make them because it's so quick. So there it is. And now I'm going to just glue on some trim. And I buy these beads, this beaded pearl trim. There's a mauvey pink. There's an ivory color. This is almost a silvery gray color. Can you see that? I'm not sure which one I want to use. I think I'll just stick with the cream color for today. And I have my glue gun here. I'm just going to glue a little bit at a time so that it doesn't dry too fast. I glue it around the edges, like so. I'll turn it this way so you can see it. See if I can get it all the way around without it drawing on me. I think I can. Ooh, that was hot. Okay. So we glue it all the way around. I have friends that will not craft with glue sticks because they just despise the strings that come on there. I heard a trick. Somebody said if you put your glue sticks in the freezer for a while, they won't string on you as much. Of course, I heard that, but still haven't tried it, so I'm not sure if it works or not. Alright, so there it is. I glued that on. And then the last thing, which is the most fun part to me, is you just get to decide how you're going to decorate it. So I have these paper flowers that I think are really pretty. Oh, I found a whole box of them, by the way, at Michael's. They're super pretty. And they were on sale for $2.99. They're originally $4.99. I'm just going to take a big dollop of glue, and I'm not going to put it in the middle. I'm going to put it off to the side like that. And what else? What else? Maybe, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see. I don't like to do things very traditional, so maybe I'll stick that on there. Well, you know what? Sometimes you just have to go for it. I'm going to glue this down. And if I don't like it, what I like about working with hot glue is you can always peel it back up. So I'm going to put this gold rose here. And maybe I'll put just, well, let me show you what I have so far. It's getting a little busy. try a little piece of lace and see if I like that. Okay, and then I will add a rhinestone. I have these cards of rhinestones. You can find these at the Dollar Tree, by the way. And I'm going to add a little rhinestone here. Kind of like it so far. And then I'm going to add a bow. And maybe that'll be it. So I have these little spools of satin ribbon. You can find these almost anywhere. I will say Joann Fabrics prices are higher than Michael's for these. I do think these were $1.99. You might get a little bit more on the spool. And then I'm going to just make a quick bow by making 2 loops, crossing them over, untying it. Like so. I don't want it too terribly big, so I'm trying to tighten it and make the loops a little bit smaller. And then I'll just cut the tails. And I think a little shorter. And then glue, which I will put right here. That's not bad for a quick little brooch. It's busy, but you know what? Sometimes more is wonderful. I'm going to put a little pink rhinestone there too. See if I can find one in my box. I have my whole box of little gadget treasures here. And I'm going to add one little, is this pink? Yeah. One little pink rhinestone right in the middle of my bow. Like so. Okay. I like it. And there is a fussy little fast, what I would call a Victorian kind of shabby chic brooch. And then after when you're finished, you can do a little bit of the cleanup work and make sure it doesn't look